There is a vastness to the American continent. It is a land of profound and dramatic contrasts. One can stand on the edge of the Grand Canyon, a wound in the earth carved by time itself, and feel an overwhelming sense of permanence. One can walk through the ancient redwood forests of the Pacific coast, surrounded by living giants that were saplings when empires rose and fell, from the sun-scorched deserts of the Southwest to the frozen, silent expanse of the Alaskan tundra. The landscapes whisper of an enduring promise. They speak of space, of freedom, of a world large enough to hold any dream one might dare to imagine. This is the land that has called to so many for so long. And yet, something is stirring. A quiet, but persistent, migration is underway. It is not the dramatic rush for gold, or the desperate flight from dust bowls of the past. This is a subtle turning of the tide, a slow and considered stepping away. An estimated 9 million Americans now make their homes beyond these familiar shores. It is a number that is difficult to comprehend, a population larger than that of many nations. They are not fleeing a singular cataclysm. Instead, they seem to be responding to a gradual change in the climate, a shift in the very atmosphere of the place they once called home. This exodus is not a single unified movement. It is a collection of deeply personal journeys, each one a story of its own. It is the artist in a small New England town, packing her brushes and looking toward the gentle hills of France. It is the tech worker in a bustling city, selling his possessions for a simpler life on a distant coast. It is a family gazing northward, toward a border that represents not an end, but a new beginning. They are leaving behind the sweet scent of pine in the Appalachian Mountains, and the rhythmic crash of waves on the Californian coast. They are leaving the familiar for the unknown. What prompts such a monumental decision? To leave the land of one's birth, the soil that holds the roots of one's own history, is a profound act. It suggests a deep and unsettling ache, a feeling that the promise of the landscape is no longer reflected in the life one can live upon it. It is a quiet testament to a search for something that has been lost, or perhaps was never truly there. People are looking out at the endless horizon, not with the hope of conquering it, but with the hope of finding a kinder, gentler world somewhere beyond its edge. At the heart of this quiet migration lies a fragile and fracturing thing: trust. For a society to flourish, its people must believe in its foundations. They must have faith in its institutions, its laws, and the leaders who uphold them. But for a growing number, particularly among the young, that faith has begun to erode. It is like watching a shoreline slowly wash away, one grain of sand at a time. The ground that once felt so solid now seems to shift and crumble beneath their feet. This is not a sudden collapse, but a long, slow process of disillusionment, felt most acutely by those with the most future left to lose. This erosion of trust is not evenly distributed. A remarkable pattern has emerged, one that speaks volumes about the internal pressures of this society. Young women in particular express a profound desire to leave. For them, the disconnect is not just political, it is deeply personal. They look at the systems of power and do not see themselves reflected. They listen to the promises of progress and hear only echoes of the past. A feeling of alienation has taken root, a sense that the country is not being designed with their future, their safety, or their well-being in mind. The gap between their aspirations and their reality has grown too wide to ignore. This feeling has been amplified by seismic shifts in the legal landscape. For many women, the removal of a long-held right, a right they had been born with and taken for granted, was a moment of shocking clarity. It was as if a fundamental law of nature had been overturned. They had grown up believing that the arc of history bent toward greater freedom, only to find it could be snapped backward in an instant. This single event sent a tremor of insecurity through millions, a chilling message that their autonomy was not guaranteed, but conditional. It sparked a desperate question: if this can be taken away, what else is at risk? The response has been a quiet and powerful protest. It is not a protest in the streets, but in the heart. It is the decision to quiet quit on the traditional paths laid out for them, to reconsider the very notion of building a life in a place that feels increasingly inhospitable. For some, this has hardened into a desire to hard quit entirely, to pack a bag and seek a new beginning elsewhere. The dream is no longer about climbing a ladder within the existing structure, but about finding a different structure altogether, one built on a foundation of more reliable trust. The search for a new home is often a search for a feeling of safety. It is the fundamental, almost primal need to feel secure in one's own body and in one's own community. In America, a pervasive sense of unease has settled over daily life. The constant murmur of violence, the ever-present possibility of conflict, has become a feature of the environment. For many, especially parents and young people, this has created a background hum of anxiety that never truly fades. The idea of living in a place where one does not have to look over one's shoulder, where children can play without a shadow of fear, has become an almost irresistible lure. This yearning for safety is why so many eyes turn toward neighbors like Canada. To an outsider, the differences may seem subtle, but to those considering a move, they are monumental. They see a country with a robust public healthcare system, a promise that a medical emergency will not lead to financial ruin. They see a society with dramatically lower rates of gun violence where the fear of random tragedy does not permeate the collective consciousness in the same way. It is not a perfect utopia, but it represents a different set of priorities, a different social contract. It offers the simple, yet profound promise of a softer landing. Beyond physical safety, there is a longing for a different kind of belonging. Many women report a deep sense of exhaustion, a weariness from navigating a culture that often feels indifferent or even hostile to their experiences. They speak of a pervasive misogyny that high-profile movements and public conversations have failed to meaningfully change. They feel that their voices are not heard, their concerns are not valued, and their very presence is conditional. This is not about a single law or a single event, but about the cumulative weight of 1,000 small cuts, 1,000 moments of being made to feel less than. And so, they dream of a place where equality is not just an ideal, but a lived reality. They imagine a society where their contributions are valued, their rights are enshrined and protected, and their futures feel expansive and full of possibility. This is not an escape from hardship, but a quest for dignity. It is the belief that another way of living is possible, that there are places in the world where the structures of society are designed to lift everyone up, rather than hold some down. The search is for a place where one does not have to fight so hard just to exist. The decision to leave is, however, fraught with complexity. There is a peculiar notion among some Americans that one can simply step away from America, as if it were a room one could exit and close the door upon. But the world is not so simple. American culture, with its powerful economic and political influence, is not contained by its borders. Its shadow stretches across the globe, shaping markets, influencing policies, and coloring the daily lives of people in faraway lands. As one observer noted, the only people who believe they can truly escape America are Americans themselves. The world is more interconnected than we often care to admit. This global reality is becoming even more pronounced. We are witnessing a geopolitical shift, a move away from a world of shared alliances and toward one of spheres of influence, dominated by superpowers. This new era of American dominance can create a climate of isolation. It suggests a turning inward, a focus on projecting power rather than building partnerships. For the individual standing on the shore, wondering whether to leave, this can be deeply unsettling. It raises the question of whether leaving the country means leaving one set of problems only to find them mirrored in a new global context. And so, we are left with this image. 9 million people scattered across the globe, with millions more dreaming of joining them. They are standing on the edge of a continent, looking out at the vast, mysterious ocean. Behind them lies a land of breathtaking beauty, a place of deep history and powerful myths. It is the only home they have ever known. But it is a home that, for them, has begun to feel strange and unwelcoming. The promise it once held now seems to ring hollow, and the future it offers appears clouded and uncertain. What then makes a place a home? Is it the soil under your feet, the flag that flies overhead, or the language you speak? Or is it something less tangible? Perhaps home is not a place at all, but a feeling. It is the feeling of being safe, the feeling of being seen, the feeling of being trusted. It is the quiet confidence that the world around you is designed for your flourishing, not just your survival. And as more and more people stand on that shoreline and choose the unknown sea, one must wonder if that feeling is becoming the world's most precious and sought-after commodity.